Meeting the Sherman County Board of Commissioners come to order. First up is public forum or public comment for 15 minutes. Yes, right.
You got anything? You wanna go first? You want me to go?
I'm just observing.
Well, I was supposed to get on the agenda and I forgot, so here I am at your public forum. I'm gonna give you each one of these. Okay, so last time we talked, we had to go back and get like a more updated bid from the architects for the project, and we needed to add on a roof, we have a roof issue, and we knew that a long time ago, but in the light of the rain the last week, it's been really bad. But, so I just wanted to give you that, so you guys have that, that's the most update and current, and that's the one we're moving forward with. But I also came to invite you, all three of you, or one of you or somebody, but August 24th at 6 o'clock at the GAC, we're having a strategic doing meeting with the Community Foundation and some of the people from Bird City are coming down, and we are going to start moving forward with trying to find the grant funding and taking the steps forward to move with that. So they're just asking for community support, and where you guys are a big supporter of this project, I just wanted to invite you to be there. I don't really think you'll have to do anything. I think it's me basically presenting, and I'll have the big boards with the remodel on there, and then also push pedal pull where we get our weight room equipment from. They have done a 3D mock-up of what we have, kind of the current equipment we have, and so what the weight room will look like down the line as well. So just kind of something to get you guys there if you're able to come. But we're starting the steps forward to go make this project roll forward. So, and as you'll see when you look back through that, you know, obviously the amount had changed, but when we decided we needed a new roof, it's a flat roof like all on Main Street. It leaks horribly. It needs to have some type of pitch added to it. So we just told them, hey, you're the architects. We know this is going to change the bid. And it's almost a $200,000 project for a new roof, but we've got to have it. I mean, I basically left the GAC Monday evening and it was raining inside the building, just how bad. I think a seam, so I've got somebody coming to take a look at that this week. So that's something that we just can't avoid. There's no reason in doing all of that work and then we still have leaks. So I wanted to get you guys an update of that and invite you to that. Just informative. It's pretty informative. I think I'm just showing them that we have community support and that they're gonna help me find funding and move forward so we can get rolling with this.
Okay.
So there'll be like a light little one, like a little supper, a little something to eat, and I don't think it should take very long. Really, don't plan for it to be very long anyway.
Okay.
So do you guys have anything for me?
Well, is your board pretty excited about
Yes.
the project? And
Yeah.
have you, some of the people coming down there, are they?
Yeah, and I think once we get the big boards, I think Desiree from Garden City, from the architect, I'll give her this week. And so once we have those big boards and we can display those, I think that'll just help and we'll be able to really bring this project forward into light and get everybody's attention with it.
Tess, I was always wondering, how many people use the GAC Center?
Well, it kind of just depends, you know, because you have day passes that come in.
Yeah.
Then you have just people that just have punch cards that don't come all the time. But I'd say probably membership-wise, long-term, when I say long-term, I'm meaning like full-year commitments, we're probably over 200. And then short-term, that fluctuates because the short-term options are 1, 3, and 6 month options. So it just kind of depends. We'll lose some in the summer because the weather's nice. We'll gain some in the winter. We'll get some tech college students because they maybe are just they're not an athlete, so they don't want to interfere with the athletes up there, and they just want to do their own thing. So we'll get some of those kids. So
Well, there's times I've been down there, I thought there was 200 kids alone.
yeah, and with school starting back up and the pool closing, so we'll be. I don't know if they're going to run a shuttle bus. I don't know what our bus driver situation is, but usually there's a shuttle bus or two that stops during the week, and so yep, we're definitely the hangout.
Yeah.
So
Say that date
and then
and
just
time one more time.
the 24th at 6 o'clock.
At the GAC.
At the GAC, yes. Unless something is wet or raining, but yes, we're planning to go there so we get everybody in the environment.
Okay.
All right.
Very
All right.
good.
Thanks, Des.
Thank you.
I don't know if you gentlemen are getting any calls about the road. But when you get rain, and we've got some hills in places that wash a little differently than what I didn't know we had so many engineers in the country. Talked to a couple of guys, they go out and work and then they have to redo what they've done.
Yep.
Hopefully this week they can get back on the routine of everything. But with rain, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it is.
So I was wondering, our meeting in September, I was wondering if we could rather move that back a week or forward a week. First one's the 11th. If we can't really move it forward because that's a holiday, but I was wondering if we could move it to 18th. Would that bother anybody?
The 11th is when we're having our budget hearing. And that's already been published.
Okay,
That answers that question.
that answers that question.
Unless you want the regular meeting another time and just the budget hearing on the 11th. We can do that.
I'll be in DC. I won't be there on the 11th. That's my problem. So it'll be just the two of them.
So just do the budget hearing on the 11th.
If you want to move the meeting to the 4th or the 18th, that's fine. And we just can't.
Okay.
That budget.
Well, we can move it to the 18th. Be back by then?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Quick update on Smoky. I believe that temporary pump has been removed or is not running any longer. The aeration system has arrived. It's being stored down at the building, and Kenny's been working with Stacy Owens on trenching and getting things wired up. So he'll be doing that. Kenny will be running Owens' trencher. Dave Rennick said that he would do the boring under the dock or the boat ramp for no charge. So things are moving along. There's going to be about probably around 700 feet of pipe. Yep.
Would that be the inch or half inch?
It'd be like, I think that's 1.5 inches.
Inch and a half.
I think so.
So you're gonna have to run several wires through it, aren't you?
Not the wires, it's just going to be the air supply.
Radiation, air.
Air supply. Yep. All the wiring will be inside the building.
That's right. But oxygen level must be sufficient.
It's holding there. As long as you get good sunshine, it'll stay in an acceptable range. It's still not great, but it's those cloudy days and rain events that
Well, that's
really hit it.
So I do have a question.
yes.
You guys are talking about the budget hearing. Is the individual department budgets available for review or just the full county budget when you guys go to approve that? It's just the full county, isn't it?
Yes.
Can the public request the department's budgets? All the department budgets?
I would imagine.
It would kind of go like the open meetings records or,
Oh, it's the formal request.
it would be that they have to fill out some type of. If you gentlemen get a chance to read the minutes,
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Also move to approve the minutes.
And I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Any other discussion?
What's the date on those?
31st.
31st.
Good.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign. Motion is approved. Minutes.
Yep.
We have two vouchers for pay or for checks. We have $191,191.50. What can we made it 91 cents? So, yeah. And 2,500, which was already written for the park concert in the park.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Do I hear a second?
A second.
Been moved in second, we pay the bills. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. We have a meeting tonight at 5 o'clock, correct? Yeah, 5 PM with the city, the Warlock Building, discuss the hospital. I'll remind you of that.
You don't have to answer.
Okay. I guess you signed it. On the bottom.
This was laying on the top. I'm not sure, Steve, what that had any.
Well, this is the copy of the check that I signed
Okay.
for the picnic or the concert in the park.
Ashley, have we had any applicants for the hospital board?
No.
I was contacted by one of the hospital board members, and they asked why we need a letter of interest. They think that might be deterring some of the people, and I said, I have no idea. I would ask why, when that started and why and
I don't know
how.
when it started, but I think that it is just a formality of the record showing that somebody shows interest is all.
I know at the city, they have a form that you fill out and check which board you're applying for, if you want to know that. It's still an effort though.
Yeah. That's something we can think about, I guess.
I like, that way we have something on record showing that this person did show interest in applying for that board.
But do you think it actually needs to be a letter or is a form?
A form, anything that would show.
Form would be simpler. I mean, at least they wouldn't have to tell their life story and ramble on. Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
Something kind of neat and simple. Okay.
Okay.
I think, we should always be, not recruiting, but going out and visiting with people when there's an opening, folks we know, go out, try to recruit them to. Board's an important position, and it's hard to get people just to walk in off the street and say, I want to be on the hospital board. So we need to work a little bit more diligent at it. We can't wait for the board to say, oh, so-and-so is interested,
Well, I had a list of names that I've called,
Yeah, I have too.
and you know what the end result of that was.
Yeah, we still have an opening.
Well, not being new here, okay, you hear some names, I don't know if they're rumors or not, but there's been some people who said they served on the board and were kicked off.
Well, I'm
And
sure
I
over
go-
time that's happened.
So I asked the question is who determines to get them off? Who determines to kick them off? Is it the county commissioners or is it it's a board? So they say if you go in and if you disagree what's going on, or if you question what's going on, then they kick you off the board and so they say, why should I serve on that? Okay. If you want me to serve on the board and have my opinion out there and fight for what I believe in, that's okay. But if I disagree and I'm gone, what good is it?
I think a lot of it, is you got a board working on a certain project or going a certain direction, and you don't have to agree on everything, but if you're a person that likes to stir up trouble or make things rough on the rest of the board, that's probably when they'll refer, or make the reference to, hey, this guy's causing us trouble, or this gal's causing us problems. We need her removed.
So is it the county commissioners who remove them then?
Ultimately, but the board, to me, it's best if the board makes that recommendation, right? Rep, would you say that?
It's been a while since I've looked at it, but if I recall correctly, under those state hospital statutes, the commission has the authority to appoint or to remove. And, in the past, I know you guys have gone through with Charles, what it takes to actually remove somebody. I don't think that the board itself has the authority or the ability to remove somebody, but they can make that recommendation as far as whether they've met that criteria or if it's for a reappointment. To be 100% certain, I have to look back at that hospital statute, but my memory is that that's the process.
Okay. Yep. It's hard to just randomly remove somebody for just because, and when we're not at those meetings, you about have to have the recommendation of the rest of the board, a consensus from them, or it's kind of pointless.
I think so too.
I know.
I guess I got the impression, Rod, that the hospital board themselves were removing them, not the county commission.
I don't think
that's
that-
the impression I got.
I think the only thing they can do is make that recommendation to us and state their case as to why. If there's a list of criteria for that, we should probably have that, at least see it.
Rod, if I recall, I don't think there's necessarily a list. I think it just says, a board member can be removed for, and I
Okay.
can't remember the exact wording, but I'm not going to say because I can't remember the exact wording. But
Okay.
I do recall that, I don't know how many years ago that topic was brought up. I believe Charles went through all that with the commission at the time, and it was almost next to impossible to remove somebody based on how that statute was worded. But again, I would just need to look.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
Executive session for non-elected personnel, please.
Okay.
15 minutes.
15.
Also move
A second.
to reconvene here.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
15-minute executive session.
Brett and myself, please.
Thought you were going to get away with something. Order. Okay, Ashley.
I spoke with Jaleesa O'Hara. She was wondering about the county doing the meal Friday of Flatlanders in the park. So it would be similar to the city, what they did at the back to school event. They sponsored that. So normally they've done like a food truck, and SCCD pays for that with transient guest tax money. So two different options. Either the county could pay for that to come in, or the county could serve and cook the food and do that. So they've done the first 600 people. The food that they were anticipating was brats, beans, chips, and then you'd have plates and silverware, unless you could think of something else besides beans that requires silverware.
If we bring in an outside person, will they dictate what they serve?
I'm sure you could pick.
Who would want to do that?
Most of the time, a caterer would, what are you looking at? You know, they give them
Price-wise.
options, so.
For a few $100s more, I would rather just hire the vendor. That's what they do.
I know it's work, so.
Right.
I'm good with, if they wanna hire the vendor, what would the vendor cost?
Just looking at a couple of them, it would be about $2,700.
Versus 1,500 to 1,800 the other way.
Yeah.
My vote's the vendor.
Go with the vendor.
Go with the vendor.
Any preference on vendor?
I don't know.
Just whoever. Okay.
Whoever you
Okay.
can find is gonna be your.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Burton's up at the school, but he's gonna step out for a second, and once he's ready, we can go back in and we'll call him.
Okay.
Okay. So back to the personnel policy. I guess we can start now by, going over part 2. And then by the end of September, we have completed part 2.
Okay.
I think it's good. Okay. It's not always fun work, but it's good, but it's work we have
We
to
can
do.
get copies of suggestions that have been made already. When is our next department head get together?
I think we said September, wasn't it?
It was in September, right? Was
And
it?
we have an emergency, planning, like an exercise, is what we're doing at that department head meeting.
Well, I think that'd be great because you'll have the department heads will be notified that when they come to the department head meeting, if they have suggestions for the handbook, to give them to us. That way we can see them just over, which is part 1?
Part 2.
Rod, flip that up and let's look at September.
Because we have budget hearing,
He's ready, gentlemen.
and we have a regular meeting here and here.
I think like the 21st
For,
for department head meeting.
Yeah.
We'll put the department head meeting on the 21st and see if that works.
Okay. At 8 o'clock? Or is it later?
9.
oh,
5 minutes.
Okay, need a motion to go back into executive session with Ashley, Brett, and Burton and us for 10 minutes
For non-elected.
for non-elected.
I'll make that
So
motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, all in favor say aye. Aye. Back in session for 10 minutes. Back to order. Is there anything else that needs to be brought before the commission?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded, we adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Same sign. Motion passed, meeting adjourned.